So England beat Colombia. And that was racist. Even though half the England team is black or mixed race, and several of the Colombian players are white, doesn't matter, still racist.
Colombia lost and racism won again! I'm 98% sure the ref of the Colombia-England game is racist. The Colombia versus England game was so rigged, stupid ref is racist and gave like 10 yellow cards to Colombia. So we can all agree that the ref for the England versus Colombia game is racist, right?
Yeah, the ref was racist. It had nothing whatsoever to do with the Colombians being dirty, cheating little bastards, did it?
At the pub watching the England match as the only POC in the room, I really want Colombia to win, so the racists don't get their way.
Yeah, mate, you really showed those racists. I mean, Sweden's team looks pretty homogenous. Maybe them reaching the quarterfinals is another foreboding sign of white supremacy. Or maybe it's just football and you're all a bunch of pedantic idiots. But aside from the Twitter tods, there really is an undercurrent of Ramonas within the UK who want the England football team to fail.
This won't make me popular, but I can't help thinking that the last thing we need right now is for England to win the World Cup and whip the country up into a swollen-headed, flag-waving nationalist fervour. So seriously, fuck headlines like this. Vamos Colombia esta noche. I hope England get thrashed.
Oh, she's a Corbynista who writes for The Guardian. Well, imagine my shock. Another Corbynista tweeting when he thought England were about to lose that the Germans would be laughing. Corbyn's man in Brussels cheering on Belgium instead of England because he said the World Cup was, quote, a vulgar tournament to prove our superiority. People complained when an English football commentator referred to England during an England game as we. England fans were told not to wave their own flag at games because it's imperialistic. They were lectured about not singing Brexit songs because it might be offensive to the EU. Yeah, we'll sing what we want. This sanctimonious twat in The Independent who said people who flew England flags were stereotypically gammon-faced Neanderthals. This guy who wanted England to lose because he's ashamed of Brexit. This guy who wanted England to lose because it would shatter the hearts of gammon.
Football coming home will vindicate the gammon. Don't let it come home. You can hear them saying, we won the football, we can win Brexit.
They want England to lose. And they're English. So if and when England do lose, can we just pretend we didn't understand the rules, file lawsuits against the opposition and demand a rematch? It's not a cliche when we say they hate their own country. Listen, we know you break out in hives when you see a St George's cross. Labour MPs who live in £3 million Islington swank pads sneering with contempt at working class people in Rochester for hanging England flags from their terrace houses. Look, we know you hate white working class English people. And you can barely contain your seething resentment. Your seething resentment at the fact that their vote means you might have to pay a bit more for your foreign nanny or your skinny latte. Boo-hoo! Your seething resentment that they get to fly the flag of their own country without you being able to call them racist. Your seething resentment that a generation of young people constantly lectured about how ashamed they should be can finally feel good about their homeland. Your seething resentment that the country is rallying around a flag that isn't that of the EU. Your seething resentment that the England team is diverse because it means you can't demonise patriotic pride and populist nationalism as being a form of bigotry. This guy really owned UKIP when they tried to celebrate England's win by pointing out that Harry Kane's father was born in Ireland. Harry Kane's father was born in Ireland? He should have told me. This means we no longer have to worry about 400,000 new people pouring in every single year, our creaking public services, failing integration policies, rising violent crime, and can just erase the borders because Harry Kane's father was born in Ireland. Phew! Oh, and while I'm on the subject of sport, let's talk about Wimbledon tennis. So men and women get paid the same prize money, yet men work longer hours. Men play best of 5 sets, women play best of 3. The gender pay gap is real. Listen, I know everyone's sick of politics being injected into everything. But you did it, not us. And I'm not talking about everyone on the left here. I'm not talking about all Remain voters. Let's be clear, I'm talking about the most virulent Ramonas. You just couldn't hide the fact that your own rampant self-loathing incorporates loathing your own country. You just couldn't hide the fact that seeing working class English people of all colours rallying around the national flag causes involuntary spasms of contemptuous sneering arrogance. You couldn't put politics aside for 5 minutes to allow the country to come together. You want England to fail because deep down you want the very concept of the nation state to fail. You want the very notion of national identity to be sacrificed on the altar of your pseudo-cosmopolitan cult of globalism. You want Brexit to fail. You literally march in the streets against democracy. You recoil in horror at the idea of national sovereignty. You hate your country, you hate yourselves, and that's why you're intent on ruining everyone else's fun. Well, tough tits, 'cause the fun's not over yet. Please click the big red button to subscribe. It really helps me when you do that. And click the bell to allow notifications so you never miss a new video. Survival Shield X2 Nascent Iodine. If you're interested in healthy thyroid, if you're interested in well-being, if you're interested in having a higher IQ, which this has been linked to, get your powerful Survival Shield X2 at InfoWarsStore.com.